And I'm here today because we stand with all the great conservative leaders who've supported our agenda here in the Hoosier State, like Governor Eric Holcomb, Senator Todd Young, and two future congressmen, Jim Baird and a guy named Greg Pence. But we're here because President Trump and I stand shoulder to shoulder with the next great senator for the state of Indiana, Mike Braun. You know, it's the greatest privilege of my life to serve as vice president to President Donald Trump. He's a man of his word. He's a man of action. And there's only one way that you can describe the last 2 years in America under his leadership. It's been 2 years of action, 2 years of results. It's been 2 years of promises made and promises kept. But we're just getting started. You know, the president promised to fight for American workers, businesses, and American jobs. And President Trump delivered. We cut taxes across the board for working families and businesses in Indiana. We rolled back red tape at record levels and unleashed American energy. We fought for trade deals that are free, fair, and reciprocal, like the new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement that puts Indiana workers and Indiana farmers first. And the results have been huge. I don't know if you've seen the jobs report today. Just in the last 2 years, 4.5 million new jobs created, 450,000 jobs in manufacturing alone. Paychecks are growing at their fastest rate in a decade, and the unemployment rate is now at a 50-year low. Jobs are back. Confidence is back. In a word, America is back, and we're just getting started, Indiana. And thanks to the support of Republican majorities in Congress, we've been doing more than just jobs. We've been rebuilding our military and restoring the arsenal of democracy. We've taken the fight to terrorists on our terms, on their soil. And ISIS is on the run. Their caliphate has fallen. And we will soon drive ISIS from the face of the earth. We've been standing with the men and women of law enforcement without apology, giving them the resources and respect they deserve. And under President Trump's leadership, we've been enforcing our laws, securing our borders, and we've already started to build that wall. And as another migrant caravan is making its way north, President Trump has already deployed more than 4,000 troops to the southern border. We've taken steps to close the loopholes in our law, and we've made it clear to this caravan they will not be allowed to enter the United States of America illegally. And I couldn't be more proud to stand with a president who stood without apology for all the God-given liberties enshrined in our Declaration and our Constitution, like the unalienable right to life and the right to keep and bear arms in the Second Amendment of the Constitution. You know, with the strong support of Senator Todd Young, we've been appointing strong conservatives to the federal courts at every level. Like the newest justice to the Supreme Court of the United States, Justice Brett Kavanaugh. But for all we've done, I got to tell you, I know him well. That's just what this president calls a good start. And that's why President Trump and I need Indiana to reelect strong Republican majorities on Capitol Hill, and we need Indiana to vote to elect Mike Braun as your next United States Senator. Mike Braun is a job creator who built a business right here in the Hoosier State. He's a conservative who will fight for Indiana jobs and Indiana values every day in our nation's capital. I know Mike Braun will stand with our president. He'll always put Indiana first, which is a lot more than you can say about Senator Joe Donnelly. My fellow Hoosiers, you deserve to know. When the time came to cut your taxes, Joe voted no. When the time came to repeal and replace Obamacare, Joe voted no. Even when the time came to confirm Justice Brett Kavanaugh, Joe sided with the search and destroy tactics of the Democrats in the Senate, and Joe voted no. Well, Indiana, the time has come to vote no on Joe. The time has come to elect Mike Braun to the United States Senate. And we can make it happen in just 4 days. Now, I keep hearing about this blue wave coming across the heartland. But I'm going to tell you, if all of us do all we need to do between now and Election Day, I think that blue wave's going to hit a red wall right here in the Hoosier State when we send Mike Braun to the United States Senate. My fellow Hoosiers, let me just say from my heart, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the honor you've given me to serve this state and to serve our nation as your vice president. It's the greatest honor of my life. Karen and I will always be grateful for the support and prayers of the people of Indiana. And I want you to know we feel them every day. Looking out at all of you tonight, I just know, with your continued support, with strong conservative leaders representing Indiana in Congress and at the state level, with Mike Braun in the Senate, President Donald Trump in the White House, and with God's help, I believe we will make Indiana safer and more prosperous than ever before. And this man will make America great again. Now, it is my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you my friend, the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
Thank you, Indiana. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And thank you for giving America a truly amazing person in Mike Pence. He's a great, great man and a great vice president. Thank you, Indiana. Thank you. Great. I'm thrilled to be back in this great state with thousands of hardworking American patriots. We are here to celebrate our amazing achievements together. And by the way, how were those jobs numbers today? How were they? How were they? And to make sure America's incredible comeback continues moving full speed ahead. In just 4 days, the people of Indiana are going to send Mike Braun to the United States Senate so we can keep making America great again. Thank you. This election will decide whether we build on the extraordinary prosperity that we've unleashed or whether we let the radical Democrats take control of Congress and take a giant wrecking ball to our economy and to our future. It's not going to happen. America now has the best economy in the history of our country. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Way ahead of schedule. And if I would have said that during the campaign, where I spent a lot of days and nights with you, and I was with another special friend of ours, Bobby Knight, who's going to be speaking in a couple of minutes. The great Bobby Knight. But if I would have told you the kind of numbers that we've achieved, nobody would have believed it, and they would not have let us get away with it, but we would have gotten away with it anyway. We would have gotten away with it. It turned out that we were underestimating as opposed to overestimating. In the last month alone, we added another 250,000 jobs and nearly 600,000 Americans returned to the workforce. Nobody would believe it. We've created 4.5 million new jobs since the election. Nobody would have believed that. The unemployment rate just fell to the lowest level in more than 50 years. And more Americans are working today than ever before. How about that? But how is that statistic? How is that? How is that statistic? Think of that. I mean, of all statistics, in the history of our country, think of this, more Americans are working right now today in this country than have ever worked in this country before. It's an amazing statistic. That's going to be fun on the debate stage when we debate one of the lefties. And they're going to be saying what a good job they're going to do by raising your taxes and all. And we're going to say, but we have more people working now than ever worked. You know, I think we're going to win that debate. African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment have all reached the lowest levels in the history of our country. And in case you haven't noticed, in the great state of Indiana, we are putting our steel workers back to work at a level that nobody thought possible. It's one of the great stories. It's one of the great stories. You know, we taxed all of the steel dumping from other countries that don't exactly have us in mind. And we taxed them at 25%. And guess what? Our steel industry is one of the hottest industries in the country right now. It's expanding like crazy. And right here in Indiana, Steel Dynamics has just announced a $75 million investment in Columbia City and a $400 million investment in Terre Haute. You know that, right? It's a lot of money. And just 3 months ago, United States Steel announced a $750 million investment in a place called Gary, Indiana. The fact is, after years of rebuilding other countries, we are finally rebuilding our country. It's about time. It's about time. Republicans passed a massive tax cut for working families, and we will soon follow it up with another 10% tax cut for the middle class. Under Republican leadership, America is booming, America is thriving, and America is winning like never before because we are finally putting America first. But if crying Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, and the legendary Maxine Waters, if they take power, they will try to erase our gains and eradicate our progress. Can't let that happen. The Democrats want to raise your taxes. They want to restore job-killing regulations. They want to shut down your steel mills, and that will happen. They want to take away your real health care and use socialism to turn America into Venezuela. Lovely place. Lovely place. And Democrats want to totally open borders. How do you like that sound? Come on in. Come on in, everybody. Just come on. You're right. And we're building the wall. We got $1.6 billion. We have another $1.6 billion. We have a third $1.6 billion coming. But we want to build it quickly at one time. We don't want to do it piecemeal.